We lack men.
Run.
Have been misgendered.
Before we continue, everyone, I need your help. I've had a little bet going with my 11-year-old son. I want to teach him that whatever he puts his mind to, he can achieve. And I want to show him that I can reach 100,000 subscribers. So please help me with that. Please subscribe to this video and like if you enjoy content about personal safety, private protection, and so forth. So I really appreciate it. I can't do it without you guys. Please help me win this little bet that I have going on with my son. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We lack men in our society, and I'll explain why. And the incident last night in the UK shows that very drastically again. In a society where men, and with that in a society I mean the Western society, where men are more concerned with whether they are allowed or should be allowed to wear dresses out in public or in private.
I have been misgendered 3 times in the past 24 hours.
Very weird. In a society where something like that is really cared for, things like what happened last night, they're bound to happen. And here's why. It was an incident a few years ago in Russia where a few immigrants in a club were touching women inappropriately. Now, these people, the guys in the club, they didn't go and call police, run for help, run away. They dealt with the issue. These men, afterwards, that were touching those women, they were the ones that called police, and they were begging police to be driven out of town because, excuse my French, they were beating the out of them for doing that. And that's just the warrior mindset that we're lacking nowadays in our society. And I feel like attacks like the one that happened last night, or in Britain it was in the evening, they're bound to be happening more and more, because these guys, they grew up in England, so it wasn't a terrorist attack or anything. But it goes hand in hand. If they grow up in a society where already as kids bad behavior is not going unchecked, they grow up in a society where, if they have an argument with another boy at the schoolyard, they're gonna settle it without police being called, and it's going to be fair. And if situations like these are nowadays discouraged here in the Western world, then we have a bunch of like the eyewitnesses that reported the men that they were so terrified and that they were running to the end of the train.
Guys suddenly run past going, run. This is pretty serious. So we ran to the end of the carriage, we pulled the emergency alarm and just trying to work out, can we barricade the doors, can we lock the doors? But we couldn't really. And then by the time I got to the end of the carriage, I realized I was actually at the back of it, and there was about 6 of us. There was a girl, bless her, who was really, really in a bit of a state, because the guy had actually tried to stab her, and one of the older guys was an absolute hero, blocked it with his head, and he's got this gash. He had this gash on his head. He's got I think a gash on his neck, and he's we're giving him our jackets to keep the pressure on the blood.
Hoping that they wouldn't be one of the victims. And the one person that actually stepped in and saved a girl from being stabbed was an elderly person, probably a World War II veteran. So why does it have to be an elderly person? And my question is, what if, those elderly people at some point are going to die off of old age? What's gonna come of our society? Who is gonna protect people then? So just just a few thoughts. I'm not looking for the lone survivor, a lone hero to go after those threats. I'm just encouraging you guys to do your part as men. Have a good day, everyone.